Hey guys, Sam from Manfa's Makes. How are you all? Welcome back to all my returners, and hi to any newbies. It is so great to have you here. Please do stick around a while, and if you like what you see, please give me a thumbie. Now, I have popped on today because, drum roll, I have finally managed to connect all the squares that I did in this Have You Ever Wondered series number 1. Now, if you have not seen any of this series, I will link the playlist down in the description box where you can catch up on all the little experiments that I carried out in this series previously. I think there are about 5 episodes, and this is the 6th and final one to wrap it all up in a neat little bow. Now, in brief, I decided to do a series called Have You Ever Wondered? Now, I have a lot of different yarn, as you can see, and there are a lot of either one skein or only a couple of skein wonders that I've got on my shelves and in my totes, and I didn't really have projects for them. And then one day I was sat there pondering, and this idea came into my head, and I decided to do a little crochet experiment, and I took you all along the way with me. Now, I pulled out some of these yarns in all the various episodes, and the question we were answering is, have you ever wondered how many 6 round granny squares you can get out of a certain skein of yarn? Well, I did the experiment for you. Now, there were a couple of disclaimers in the fact that I crochet tight, so the number that I managed to get may be different to you if you decide to carry out the experiment yourself. And also, I am using my 5.5mm clover throughout the whole thing, and some of the yarns there was a slight discrepancy where they wanted me to use a 5 rather than a 5.5. Well, I believe we looked at Hobby Lobby's I Love This Yarn. We looked at Hobby Lobby's I Love This Yarn Prince, or was it Ombre? It was one of the two. Then there was Premier Just Yarn Worsted. Then we had Hobie's Mega Ball, and then we had Stylecraft Special in Aran. So all of them were 4 weights. So all the yarns were 4 weights. I used the same hook throughout my 5.5mm, and I came on and showed you guys how many 6 round granny squares I could get from those different yarns. And then I said that I would return when I had managed to get all the squares connected and joined together and finished off. And I now have a lovely blanket at the end of it. Now, to join them, I did use Premier Just Yarn Worsted, which is what the purple squares in the blanket is as well. This is 109 yards, 100 meters, 1.76 ounces or 50 grams, 100% acrylic, medium 4 weight. They recommend a 5mm needle and a 5.5mm hook. Machine wash warm, tumble dry, normal heat. Do not iron, do not bleach, and you can dry clean. The colour is light grey, and they were made in Turkey. So this is about half a skein, and I have this yarn baffed rat nest mess that I was just not going to mess with. So I have about 1.5 skeins of this left, and to join them I used all of these. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I put 8 whole ones and a half a one. So it took 8.5 of these to join them. Now, what method did I use to join them, you may ask? Well, there is a wonderful content creator here on YouTube called Heather, and her YouTube channel is The Crochet Witch. I will link her down below. I knew that she had a join as you go tutorial on her channel, and that was the tutorial I followed, guys. Now, to begin with, it took a little minute for Manfa to get her head around how we were going around the squares and putting them together. And if I was particularly tired one evening or my brain just wasn't in it, I did get myself all a little bit confused. So there were a few moments of frustration, but that is my error, not Heather's tutorial. Heather's tutorial is so wonderful to watch. It is very easy to understand. And Heather not only does tutorials, she does lots of other wonderful content on her channel as well. So I really do encourage you to go and check her out if you haven't already done so. She has lots of things going on. She had the great cake off. She's got the movie marquee crochet along that she does with a couple of her friends. She shows us yarn hauls, whips, FOs. She is a massive fan of Stranger Things, so there is a lot of Stranger Things content on her channel. She sometimes do vloggy bits of some of her personal life outside of YouTube. We see a lot of her fur babies, which is super cute. Heather is just an all-round joy to watch, and I really, really love her channel. So please, guys, if you don't know Heather, go check her out and check out some of her tutorials, because the girl does good. She really does. I really, really am glad that I followed her tutorial to put this blanket together. Like I said, because I have a couple of health things going on at the minute, and because I am always dog tired, I did get myself a little confuzzled in places. But when I had a good night, I was zipping through these squares like no one's business, and I was getting the job done. And that is because Heather is a great teacher. So Heather, if ever you do watch this, hey, thanks so much for watching, and thank you so much for making that tutorial, because you saved a girl. You did. I had no clue how to join these squares. You helped me, you showed me, and you enabled me to get it done. So thank you so much, and please keep up your channel. I love it, and although I don't always comment, I do watch everything you put out, and I always leave a thumb. So yes, thank you so much, Heather. Now, I will show you the actual blanket in a minute, but I'm not going to be able to show you it totally unwrapped because, guys, this thing is huge. In fact, I had 2 squares too many, so I have got 2 miscellaneous don't know what to do with squares. So if you have a suggestion on what I can do with the 2 leftover squares, please feel free to drop your suggestions down in the comment box. I don't really want them to go to waste, but I will keep hold of them in case I do come up with an idea. But yes, this is amazing. I did take a couple of photos. Now, if I was into the techie wizardry thing, I would be able to pop them up on screen, but we all know Manfa doesn't do that. So I took a photo on my phone, and I am going to show you now. This is what the blanket looks like laid out on my bed. So it is a fair size because my bed is a king size. And then I took another photo of it on my sofa. If the photo will rotate. Here we go. And there you can see all of the squares, because when it's on my bed, guys, a couple of the rows go down the sides of the bed and you can't see them. So there she is in all her glory, and let me tell you, doing the maths to work out how much yarn I'd need to join it all together was an absolute nightmare for myself and Mike, but thankfully between us we managed to figure it out, because we do have a smidgy bit left of the yarn that I chose. The blanket is 11 squares wide and 7 squares tall, so I used 77 granny squares with 2 left over. So in the end I did 79 squares, guys, which is incredible. So yes, the maths to work out how much yardage I would need to join it all together was a little bit of a brain melt, but we did get it right. We did do it, and it meant that a lot of my stash got used up. Everything in this blanket is #shopmystash, and there are a few memories to go along with it as well, so there is some sentimental value to this blanket too. So yes, I will show it to you, but I will show it to you folded because it is heavy and it is big, and I would not be able to get it in screen even if I wanted to. So are you ready? I'll show you this way. See, even this way I can't get it in screen. So I folded it in quarters so I can show you here. And the colours do not do it justice. So I will put the photos I just showed you on my phone on my community tab because it is huge, guys. It's like wrestling an alligator, but it is going to be so warm and snuggly. Now, why does it hold sentimental value? Well, the camo squares, like this spare one that I have, this yarn was gifted to Mike and I in a mystery box from the wonderful Marianne the Crochet Clogger. She does have a channel here on YouTube and I will link it below, so please go and check her out as well. She is awesome. So there is some yarn from Marianne in this blanket. There is also this hot rosy pink here, which is the I Love This yarn from Hobby Lobby, and this was gifted to me in Happy Mail from my wonderful friend Amanda, the Obsessive Crochet Lady. I will link her down below as well. Go check her out. The Mega Ball is from one of my first orders I ever did with Hobie. So that has some sentimental value in the fact that Hobie, they hooked me, guys. As soon as I had one of my first orders, that's it. I've never looked back. The purple, the Just Yarn, as well as the grey that I have used to connect it all, these were both gifted to Mike and I from our wonderful Yarny Fairy godmother. She blessed us beyond belief last year, guys. She went above and beyond. And so I always have my Yarny Fairy godmother in this blanket as well. And then the sage green, like the square that's left over here, the colour is not being shown properly. And the darker plain pink here, they were Stylecraft Special Aran, and I believe that some of them were in mystery bags that I bought and some of them were just stash, but that's fine because they kind of brought all the colour scheme together. Now, the colour scheme isn't something I would normally put together and mishmash in one project, but for me, and please don't take offence because it was my choice what colours I chose to pull out of my stash, I think that it verges on or in the realms of it's so ugly that it's pretty. Does that make sense? Like, never in a million years would I put these colours together, but now that I have, it's growing on me and I have some love and affection for it. So in the winter, if I'm super duper cold, this is going to be a really heavy, really snuggly, super warm blanket for me to snuggle up under. And like I said, we've got Marianne, we have got Amanda, we have got Yarny Fairy Godmother, we have got Hobie, and then, to be fair, even the Stylecraft Special Aran is memories, because Stylecraft was the yarn, the only yarn that I used for the first 3 or 4, maybe 5 years of my crocheting. So Stylecraft will always, always have a very special place in my heart. So it deserved to be in this amalgamation of a blanket, and it is huge. It took an awful lot of work, not only to do the squares, but to join them all together. 77 squares, guys. That is quite a feat, if you ask me. So yes, 8 ball bands to add to my ball band wallet for the end of the year. Total of yardage I have used throughout the year, which is fabulous. All the other yarns that I've put in the blanket, they are already in my yarn wallet, so that's exciting. I can now retire my 5.5 until I need it again in another project. You guys need to help me think of what I can do with these 2 spares, because I am at a bit of a loss. Or do I just save them just because? I don't know. And my absolutely massive, huge, monstrous blanket that I cannot fit in frame, but I will put photos of on my community tab, is the finished item. So that wraps up season 1 or series 1 of Have You Ever Wondered? Now, you guys, if you have an idea for another Have You Ever Wondered series for me, please pop them down in the comment section. Let me know what you would like to see. Is there something you've always wondered and never managed to find out? Maybe I could do it for you. I am making no promises, but put it down as a suggestion in the comments and I will give it serious consideration. Because I've really enjoyed this series. Many apologies it took me so long to get the blanket all stitched up and put together. But as you know, there is daily content here at Manfa's Makes, and there are other crochet makes that I have to focus on from time to time. But it is done. Series 1 is complete. So now I have to think what I'm going to do next. So if you guys have an idea, let me know. If not, I will come back when I do get another idea, and we shall go on that journey together as well. Anyway, thank you so much for your time today. I really do appreciate it. Another final thank you to Heather the Crochet Witch for her wonderful tutorial of her continuous join, or her join as you go. Please come and join Mike and I tonight for our live. It would be lovely to see you. We go live at 4 p.m. Eastern, straight after the beautiful Granny D, which is 9 p.m. UK time. And we absolutely love our lives, and it will be great to spend some time with you. But until then, stay safe, be kind, look after one another, get some good quality time in with your loved ones, and get some good quality crafting time in. I will see you in the next one, or around the YouTube streets. Bye guys, love ya. Let me know what you think.